The causes of gentrification started as early as World War I. Cities needed more people to work in factories for the war effort, and the Great Migration caused cities to become more culturally diverse. During the 1920s to the 1930s, the black population of Brooklyn soared, almost doubling, and people didn't like that. White people attempted to restrict blacks from buying houses in white neighborhoods in a practice called racial covenant, as seen in these New York posters. However, a 1917 court case challenged this. It reached to the Supreme Court, making it illegal for governments to do it, but not private companies or individuals. This continues segregating blacks to specific areas of Brooklyn. And that's when redlining occurred, which is when blanks didn't lend mortgages to risky houses in poor neighborhoods. Without the loans, black people couldn't make repairs or improvements, so property value dropped, as seen in the red areas in the map, until Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Fair Housing Act, ending racial covenant and redlining. Since neighborhoods were now so cheap to live there and close to Manhattan, many people moved and invested in the areas of Brooklyn. The entire landscape changed, and it eventually became too expensive for the natives to live there, as property value rose. Some effects of redlining and racial covenant are still visible, showing how blacks were segregated. Homelessness grew in Brooklyn for those that had nowhere else to go. Industries closed as lots and houses became more popular. The famous Domingo sugar factory as well. More people were spending their money on rent, and with the L train closing because of Hurricane Sandy, now the only transportation left for them were gone. Without transportation, it became unaffordable. We tend to turn a blind eye to people who, in our own backyard, making excuses for why they're in property. But it could only be their fault for being homeless, right? If we could at least acknowledge the problems of gentrification, we could be one step closer to helping our own people.